You think you can beat me in soybeans? Forget about it.
We do have 2 tropical storms or hurricanes coming in the Gulf. May get a lot of wind, a lot of rain, so who knows what's going to happen.
You know, I'm a 6th generation farmer. Can I keep expanding? What can I do? What am I not doing right?
I'm confirmed 6th generation farmer. It's stretched pretty thin right now. It's just that time of year.
It's not gonna be hard to beat Weaver. He's not even in my realm of thoughts. Like, pick out the worst plant. That should be how Weaver's crap looks. So right now we're only 45, 50 days in. We've probably got 3 more trips, maybe 4 more trips that I'll make across this field. But at the end of the day, we're gonna see where it takes us to. We got a good crop planted. We had a lot of moisture in the soil. We ended up getting the stand that I was after. We'll go out here and we'll look. There's a lot of branching on them, a lot of blossoms on them. Hopefully, we're getting ready to make another application. We've taken now 4 tissue samples weekly since they've been planted. We're gonna dig up some roots. We're gonna see what the root mass looks like. So we're gonna try to see what we got and then see where we can go from here.
Working with Temple on this field of beans, we put down a starter fertilizer. We've got a very good root development. I mean, that's awesome looking.
Out here, we've used all Monty's products. Once you get it all pulled apart, that's the branching that's happened on this plant. It's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. I'm actually thoroughly impressed for where they are. I didn't know that they were actually at this stage. If we keep getting rain, I will keep in the fields. From now until they mature, which will probably be the end of September for us, I will continue until they turn yellow. I will put every 20 days, I'll put a fungicide trip on here, and I'm gonna keep them healthy. We got a while to go. There's gonna be a lot of maintenance between now and finish, especially if we keep getting rain, a lot of maintenance.
These beans will be Temple this year. As we get out and look at some other fields, I promise you, I will help Temple, but I will make sure I beat Temple.
It's not gonna be hard to beat Weaver. That's not gonna be a problem. I can beat him on my double crop beans that I don't put anything on. It'll be easy. He's not even in my realm of thoughts. Like, pick out the worst plant. That should be how Weaver's crap looks. I don't have any like that. So we're in Y Mills, Maryland. We're on another farm that I've got. We're just spot checking some fields, running around. Trying to do a little scouting. This field here has had fungicide on it 3 times so far. Pre-Axor has been on it. We're not really low in anything, but now's the time that maybe there's a product that we can use to add a little test weight. So that's kind of where we're at. If I can add test weight, maybe I can kind of finish this yield off. It's an extremely healthy plant. We'll walk in here in a minute and we'll look from the top to the bottom and see if Paul can find any diseases, but that's kind of where we're at. We choose hybrids on every farm, on every acre, every field that we go on. We, especially on dry land, irrigated we treat a little different, but on our dry land farms, we pick a racehorse variety and we pick a workhorse variety, and we run them on all of our dry land fields, and it's helped us create better averages overall, regardless of the year. If you have a bad year, the workhorse gets you through. If you have a good year, the workhorse obviously it's not gonna out yield the racehorse, but that's when the racehorse takes over.
So let's put the Como B in there and help bring that test weight up some.
What grade are we using? You're using a quart?
Yes, a quart. Yep. And I checked on the soybeans for the silica, and Chris said that we've got a product in R&D. It's a 14% silicate, and he will have product to you next week.
Now we're talking. See? Figuring things out. I mean, you can definitely see it in the ear. This is the Agrogold.
Yeah, a little nicer ear.
I mean, it's 2 days difference in maturity. But we don't, when we plant these hybrids and you choose a racehorse versus a workhorse, I never use the exact same maturity. I always go 2 to 3 days one way or the other, and I spread it out. I feel like it helps our pollination window is larger that way. And maybe it's not true, but I feel like it's helped us out. I don't seem to have the pollination issues that, a lot of times when we have. And with this heat, the heat at night times, it hadn't been below 80 in
Week and a half.
Yeah. And, a lot of our corn pollinated in 90-degree temperatures plus.
Yeah, by planting 2 different varieties, even though it's only 3 or 4 days difference in maturity, you're expanding that pollination window.
Yeah.
So, good looking corn.
One of the better products that we've seen come out here lately is Veltima from BASF. The thing I like about this is how long it's going to last in that plant. It can give me a longer window to make that decision. I'm really loving it.
Veltima has the longest residual of any product out there. Let's control something that we're able to control this year.
Veltima reduces stress in the plant, reduces the temperature. Happy corn makes more grain.
This was Nate's test plot field that Nate gets to be proud of this year to say, hey, these are my beans, these are what we're gonna do. Dad's got a field, and then we're gonna go to mine here in a minute. Right now, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna look at Nate's contest beans, see what he thinks and how they're looking and how they're progressing. But I know Nate's done a really good job of throwing the kitchen sink at it this year. So let's go in here and let's see how Nate's gonna look for the end of this year. We've been really, really dry. One of the things we are noticing is a bunch of 4-bean pods, a lot of 3-bean pods. Really not a lot of abortions when we're looking at it for all the dry weather we had, except for down here at the bottom, Nate. You can see that these beans are filling out really nice. It means we're gonna have big beans, not BBs. I'm really looking forward to having Nate go against Tom and I and Dad this year, but I don't think he's gonna beat us. What are you seeing, Nate?
Well, like you said, there's definitely a lot of 4-beans. Last time we were out here, we had 3 of them in a row. I mean, for as much dry weather as we had, there's just those low-end abortions, it's about it. But I mean, a little bit of insect damage, we took care of that when we flew them. That's a heck of a plant sitting right next to you there. And for beans that come up to your chest, normally you think they spend a lot of time growing, not so much time making a bean, but these did pretty daggone well.
I'm not really worried when beans wallow into each other. They keep standing up. The only thing that would really lay this field of beans flat right now would be a hurricane. We have 2 coming, but right now I will take the rain. All right, let's go down and look at some other beans. I haven't seen any 5-bean pods yet, but yeah, I've never found one. So if they're out here, we're gonna certainly try to find it, but we're not gonna pick any more 4-bean pods or we just cost ourselves 100 bushel. We are kind of diversified very nicely. We're linked with Sagamore Rye Whiskey. This was one of our rye fields that we come back and we double crop no-till beans through. There's no pods on them yet, but you can start to see that there's a lot of blossoms coming on these beans. You're seeing a lot of unevenness and inconsistency out here because of the fact we've been in dry weather. But for us, we got it tied in with Sagamore to make rye whiskey. There's several guys going corn for them, myself and another guy in next county down. We're supplying them with their rye that they need to make Sagamore rye whiskey with Maryland grown crops. So one of the benefits to us is we're able to come back out, no-till beans behind it. So if we could get a shot of rain here tonight, we'll be in really good shape. Mother Nature, as my buddies always said, is queen. She'll win. I'd really love to see a rain event, but unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be blessed with that, but it has been great weather to make dry hay. big limiting factor this year is just rainfall.
You know, when it quit raining, it buried us.
Man, I will take rain in any form, any way, any possible shape we could right now. I mean, if we're doing this and we're in this dry weather, imagine what's gonna happen when we're in nice weather.
We have 47 two-bean pods here. We've got 200 three-bean pods here, 15 four-bean pods here for a total of 318 pods, 754 beans. One plant.
You know, we're really fortunate to have Nate as part of the team. And, you know, right now, this is one of those aha moments for Nate, for all three of us. But, you know, this all goes back to Nate's hard work. Like I said, like Tom says, controlling the controllables, and I say, let's go slow and make sure we're doing everything right. So, Nate, I got to give it to you, man. Good work.
Oh my God. Stop it. Huh? It's a 5-bean pod.
No, it is. Is it?
Stop it.
It ain't. I looked at it and tell me it's too long.
3, 4, 5. There's 2
Wow, let me see it. I never thought I'd see a 5-bean pod. That's my first 5-bean pod. We just hit a 5-bean pod and I'm thrilled. I'm jacked up today. It's not often around here I'm a happy guy, and today I'm really, really happy. I mean, a 5-bean pod, that's something we haven't done before, and I'm glad you were here, Seth, while we filmed one 5-bean pod. I'm still happy. This is me smiling and happy. You don't see it very often.
No,
Have you ever heard of the tooth fairy? The bean fairy's coming tonight, boys. Good God, I never thought I'd see a 5-bean pod in my lifetime.
That plant had 100 cores on it.
Yeah. Just imagine what we're gonna do next year now.
Revitec is a brand new product from BASF. We're really excited for that.
Revitec is going to be able to help growers stretch yields more than they have in the past.
The number one name of the game should be reducing stress. You reduce stress, you increase yield.
I'm excited about Revitec. We use it on every acre.
We're looking at upwards of 60 days control.
It's gonna take great farmers and just propel them so much further than we've ever been before.
Yeah, that's what happens. You guys show up and just, even the grill breaks down. It's my favorite grill too. See, it's trying. Oh well. I'll tear it apart tomorrow. All right, so today is August 24th, Monday. Currently working on combine behind us, trying to get it prepared for harvest. We mainly just use that combine for the bean harvest. Try to run 3 in the beans. The harvest is about 30 days away, so we're trying to button up. We're gonna walk some plots today. So we're gonna walk some of our own field. Here's the beans from the intercropping. Some 4 pods are just way behind. Once again, with great Mother Nature, planted June 3rd. So the beans are just way behind. They're trying. Got a good amount of beans, 6, 7 pods per node. That's a good sign. But we're just gonna need a lot more rain to finish filling these guys out. Pretty healthy. We're on the lighter side of the soil here. But for June planted beans, you know, I'll take what I can get. It's not bad. They're 3.7 beans, so we still got a long way to go on these, but as long as we can keep them going here. You can tell they're later planted. I did not stress them. Tell the spacing between the nodes here on the internodes. You really want to see on beans a little bit shorter than that, where they're just stacked upon each other. And this one being June 3rd planted, it just does not have that sign of that whatsoever. They're even all the way through, so we did the best we could. The node spacing is pretty darn even. Some branching. This is a big bushy hybrid. This bean's been fed its entire life. It's had a lot of nitrogen because of the intercropping corn. So this is not what I typically like to do on my bean program. This is a different approach, but we're more after the corn yield on this, and whatever the beans get, they get. So it's going interesting. It's been fun watching this all year long because it has looked pretty good all year long. We'll see what happens. I think we can get close to around 100 bushel with these. When we first did this, goal was to have 300 plus bushel corn and 100 plus bushel beans. I feel pretty confident that the 300 bushel corn will be achieved easily. The beans, it's just been a rough year here for us for beans. They've gone through a bunch of different weather changes, just trying to keep them clean, insect pressure free. Last winter, we did not have a winter at all. Very, very warm. We didn't have a winter kill of hardly any insects, so trying to keep these darn beans clean has been fun. The height of them, trying to keep control of. I wouldn't want a bean much taller than this. I'd actually prefer it maybe a little bit shorter, stacked more. But from all the research that we've done, we've learned that stunning beans late into May, early June is a no-no. We've lost too much yield on that. So we missed a window to really attack these beans how we normally would. So we've just been limping along through the season with them, feeding the crap out of them. And they love it too much, and when beans love life too much, they get lazy on you. So after walking all these fields today, you get really excited. We know we got a big crop sitting here. I think we're gonna break our personal records. So many different things that we're waiting on that still have to go right for us. Things have gone right for us up to this point. You know, it's been a year that's tested about every nerve on and off the farm, just with the COVID-19 and everything. And it's gonna test our patience, but I think we're gonna get there, and just hope Mother Nature leaves us alone until we do.
Monty's, I got together with them. We've got a pop-up blend, and there's some special stuff in it, and I made it specifically for this.
With Monty's, we have trusted advisors, and we get that relationship.
Working with Temple on this field of beans, we've got a very good root development. I mean, that's awesome looking.
Monty's carbon, I wouldn't farm if I couldn't use that.
This barn, it's gone from, it was milking cows a long time ago, beef cows, then it went to pigs, then went back to cows, then it went back to pigs, then it went to a dog kennel, and then now it's cows, sheep, etc. So, multi-purpose. They all have different personalities, which is cool. It really is such a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch your kids take an animal that's, although it's domesticated, it's still generally wild when it's born, and to go through that process of having that bond and teaching them how to walk on a leash like a dog would, and taking them in the show ring, and they really do have an incredible relationship.
guy told me one time, said, the average farmer in his lifetime gets to grow 47 crops, no more than 47 crops in his lifetime, on his own 47 crops. And he said, how many times you want to mess that up? That's how he put it to me, and I went, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. You know, how many times do you want to screw that up? If you can take that much and add to all those acres, you know how much that ends up in the end? The number's huge. I mean, it can be phenomenal. And I think that's what, a lot of guys with a lot of these yields are like, oh, it's kind of all crap, and you know, it all doesn't make sense. You're not trying to make sense of all of it. You're just trying to see what component you can take and grow on the big acres. And that's what all the guys are doing, Dave Hula and all of them. They're trying to take small things and put it into production. It's trying to find, there is no silver bullet.
No.
I mean, there's not, never will be.
Trial and error.
Yep.
And you hope that you find something that can help you with the rest of your operation.
Correct.
With the Corn Warrior Podfather crew here, we actually turned it around to be a good day. Nate Behringer's with me. Nate's part of our team. We found a 5-bean pod, 650.
650 pods, one plant.
And how many 4-bean pods do we have?
118. I haven't been doing this as long as Chris has, but you know, for me, it's just a tremendous experience. It's the first time I've ever seen one. You know, I've heard of them, I've seen pictures online, but to hold one in your hands in real life, that's a truly unique experience, and I'm blessed to have it here with the Weavers. And for somebody who's just coming up in this business, that, you know, getting to learn from these guys and see something like that, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Pretty miraculous all in all for almost no rain, you know, looking at pod abortions and everything we had, I just can't believe it.
A lot of our attention goes into our teamwork, our attention to detail. Everything that we're doing, it's really paying. And as a team, we make the decisions as a team. We talk out our plans. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a game changer. And we're pretty excited today after hearing all that. But we couldn't have done it without Nate and getting us off to a good start. I'd say we'll probably start harvesting corn in about 3 weeks, and beans we're probably about 5 weeks away from starting. Stay tuned. Follow us throughout our journey since we found a 5-bean pod and we've got 118 4-bean pods. I think we're on to something here. Nate, I hate to tell you this, it's getting dark and we've goofed off long enough with these guys today, so let's get to work. See you guys.
Revitec is a brand new product from BASF. We're really excited for that.
Revitec is going to be able to help growers stretch yields more than they have in the past.
The number one name of the game should be reducing stress. You reduce stress, you increase yield.
I'm excited about Revitec. We use it on every acre.
We're looking at upwards of 60 days control.
It's going to take great farmers and just propel them so much further than we've ever been before.